Good evening. I'm Maria Laukai with the New Dawn FM News. The headlines: JSB meeting important to discuss PNG and Bougainville's future. Last, JSB concluded with the national government agreeing to draw down all powers to Bougainville. Bougainville veterans urged to be patient, and Bougainville Gazette challenged to provide clear information. The news in detail. The Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, Honorable James Marape, has affirmed the importance of the Joint Supervisory Body meeting held yesterday as the first meeting after the historic referendum. Prime Minister Marape said the wisdom of the 2001 peace agreement has taken the process this far that through the 2001 peace agreement, the Bougainville referendum was secured. He said the JSB is very important because the future of what will unveil in both PNG and Bougainville will very much depend on the direction this JSB sets. The last JSB was concluded late yesterday afternoon at the APEC House, and the ABG President Chief Dr. John Mommis signing on the final resolution of the meeting and expressing that this was the best JSB meeting they had since 2005. This was the first JSB after the conduct of the Bougainville referendum in November 2019, and the Joint Supervisory Body's name was also changed into Joint Consultative Body to align with the changes taking place. The first JCB will meet after the new Bougainville government is installed after the Bougainville elections in June this year. In this last JSB, the national government agreed on everything that was on the 9 agendas that was before the meeting, and they were for the approval of the BRC report. Post-referendum intergovernment consultations process framework, ratification, joint key messages, Bougainville Economic and Investment Summit, BCL shares, 100 million Kina commitment, PIP, ABG General Election Funds, weapons disposal, and the delegation of financial powers. The meeting was witnessed by development partners, high commissioners, and their representatives, and including the UN country representative Gianluca Rampolla. The joint announcements by the two co-chairs, the Prime Minister Honorable James Marape and the ABG President Chief Dr. John Mommis, was carried live on New Dawn FM to its listeners throughout Bougainville. Their joint statement can be heard on New Dawn FM YouTube page on YouTube/T8NFTEFJRZ4. You are listening to New Dawn FM News. According to the Acting Secretary for the Department of Post-Referendum Consultation and Dialogue, Ms. Stephanie Elijah, the department will be paying a total of 300,000 Kina to the Bougainville veterans. In a media conference held today, Ms. Elijah said the department will pay this amount to the veterans who worked as scrutineers during the referendum polling and counting period. She said the veterans from North, Central, and South region will be allocated 100,000 Kina each from the 300,000 Kina. In response to the Bougainville veterans' demands for not paying their outstanding claims, Ms. Elijah said she was not happy with the way some of the veterans acted when they went to her office demanding payment. She calls on the veterans to be patient and urged them to settle the issue in the right way instead of issuing threats and going to the media about it. Ms. Elijah said the department has already processed the claims and will put out a notice once the finance issue the check ready for payment. Chief of Banoni, Mr. Patrick Haromate, has raised a concern about the advertised positions in the Department of Community Government for not having specific job qualifications. Speaking as a former selected committee member, Mr. Haromate said the positions advertised should include specific areas of education, qualification, and job experiences that applicants can apply for. Mr. Haromate said many people applying for the positions are not qualified, and he is concerned that this might lead to employing the wrong people who have no qualifications, knowledge, and experience about the job they applied for. He said Bougainville Gazette should give clear information and should be well framed so that the right people can apply for the right positions they are qualified for. Mr. Haromate said employing applicants without job experience and different educational qualifications is an expensive exercise that results in the department spending money to sponsor the employees' trainings. He concluded that Bougainville should establish some in-house job training for new recruitments that should be cheaper than sending the new recruits out of the province for job training. Finally, to end the English Bulletin, here are the news headlines again. JSB meeting important to discuss PNG and Bougainville's future. Last JSB concludes with the national government agreeing to draw down all powers to Bougainville. Bougainville veterans had to be patient, and Bougainville Gazette challenge to provide clear information. The New Dawn FM English Bulletin ends on that note. For more news, please visit the two New Dawn FM sites on www.bougainville.typet.com, www.bougainvillenews.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Our news can be aired on New Dawn FM YouTube page. On behalf of the news team, I'm Maria Laukai. You have a safe weekend.